All right. Just yesterday, President Trump was touting his administration's economic successes at a rally in Michigan. That was, of course, before the numbers we saw this morning. The president said it had been, quote, the most successful 100 days of any administration in the history of the country, close quote. Let's go to CBS News White House reporter Olivia Rinaldi for more on this. Okay, Olivia, so the numbers this morning would suggest that that is not accurate. How is the president reacting to the GDP numbers of this morning?
Well, good morning, Vlad. It's good to be with you. Obviously, these numbers are a little disappointing to this White House that ran on the economy. We are hearing from the president, though, this morning specifically about the stock market in relation to the bad numbers he says that are coming out. He said this morning, this is Biden's stock market, not Trump's. I didn't take over till January 20th. Tariffs will soon start kicking in and companies are starting to move into the USA in record numbers. Our country will boom, but we have to get rid of the Biden overhang. This will take a while and has nothing to do with tariffs, only that he left us with bad numbers, ending it with be patient. Now, obviously, this is the spin coming from the White House. We've seen time and time again that when the stock market is doing well, Trump will claim credit. He did it even when he was on the campaign trail, not in office, and the stock market was doing well. He said it was in response to people being excited for him coming back into office. Now with the stock market reacting to the GDP news, which from what we've seen so far, looks like they're taking it in stride. He's saying this is not his numbers. These are Biden overhang numbers, and therefore to be patient with him as they're still working out all of these tariff negotiations.
Except that the president's inaccurate. The stock market during the 4 years that President Biden was in office was in record territory. And even if there was some excitement over the potential of a second Trump administration, at best, the market would see a couple of days of positive numbers, not the sustained growth that we saw. The drivers of the stock market are, of course, corporate earnings, consumer confidence, and GDP. And right now, GDP is, as you heard earlier from Kelly O'Grady, we haven't seen a number like this in at least a number of years. So as the president continues to double down on the economy today, let's talk about these top executives who are at the White House and at a cabinet meeting. What do you know about that?
Well, today is about touting the deals that the White House has made. We heard about immigration on Monday, economics and trade deals and tariffs yesterday. Now, today, Trump is going to host a few CEOs here at the White House to talk about their economic investments in the United States. So just to name a few that will be here, NVIDIA CEO, Johnson & Johnson CEO, Eli Lilly, SoftBank, and GE Aerospace, just to name a few that the White House gave us. They say much more are going to be here. We asked for who. They said wait and see. Important to note, though, of the people who will be here, NVIDIA announced that joint project with OpenAI, remember, a couple months ago. It was a $500 billion investment to AI infrastructure development here in the United States. Johnson & Johnson said they would announce a $55 billion investment in manufacturing and research and development of drugs. Same with Eli Lilly, about $27 billion of investment. So all these people are coming here today at the request of the White House, an invitation to them to celebrate these investments and rebuilding America as Trump wants to. Of course, the GDP and the economic news today, there's more economic news that we're expected to get, might overhang those meetings. Also today, in a little bit, we're going to have a fifth cabinet meeting from Trump so far of this, his 101 days in office, rather. And there's a lot for them to chew on, not only on the economic deals and the tariff fronts, but also think about that deal with Ukraine that Trump said he'd be able to get on day one. So there's a lot on the plate here at the White House today, Vlad.
Hey, Olivia, before you go, we had Ed O'Keefe earlier on CBS Mornings. We asked him about that conversation the president had with Jeff Bezos regarding the reporting that perhaps Amazon was going to place on some of their products, the price of the product versus the price that it costs with those tariffs in effect. Which is kind of interesting because on one hand, the president is saying, no, prices aren't going to go up. But, hey, if you tell people prices are going up, I'm going to make a phone call and make sure you don't let the American people know. What can you tell us about that call?
Well, we know they spoke yesterday, and there was a little bit of he said, she said. So this reporting had come out that Amazon was going to put like a tariff price tracker. You know, when you're checking out and you can see what the discount deal was. Well, they were going to add maybe a little line that said what the tariff price was going to cost on this specific product. That got swift reaction from the White House. Caroline Leavitt, the press secretary, called it a hostile and political act of them doing that. Amazon quickly said, no, it's not on all products. It's just on their Amazon Haul storefront that they were thinking about it. And if you've seen what Amazon Haul is, it's kind of like Temu, which is the TikTok, cheap goods shop, cheap goods from China. So they said, we were thinking about it, but now we're not thinking about it. The president had a call with Jeff Bezos specifically about it, and he said they're all good. So, Vlad, on that front, it seems like they avoided any issues on tariff pricing and consumers and that being realized. So.
Also on that front, Olivia, I learned what Amazon Haul was this morning. I had no idea what that was. Thank you very much, my friend. Appreciate you as always.